So when you start to see that you aren't able to generate and be as successful as you once were, that's when you first need to say, okay, I think something's going on here, and we need to evaluate why we aren't being as successful as we could be, and what we could do different or better in order to start to go back to generate that revenue. And I think that's usually the first sign, is when business starts to slow, or you see these new competitors coming out. And sometimes we put blinders on and we don't look at those new competitors. But when we start to see those competitors and those new players come to the market, that's when we need to step back and say, what can we do so that we stay in the lead? And I think especially for those companies that are leaders, sometimes they're the ones that don't see. They're the ones with blinders on a lot, and that's just human nature, right? Because you think you're doing so well, but as soon as you start to see that these changes or these new competitors are taking your new customers, that's when you need to. Ideally, it's before that happens, but sometimes, I think the good companies are always doing that. I think sometimes we get set in our ways and we forget to look on both sides to see what else is going on and who are these new players. I can tell you in the software industry, there's many examples of that. Siebel at one time was the leading CRM vendor in the world. They had the entire market share. Out of nowhere, Salesforce.com started talking about this no software, and next thing you know, they become the leader, and Siebel, nobody really talks about anymore. So it happens in every industry, and I think you need to make sure that you're keeping ahead of what everyone else is doing.